Hello, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Emily Jiang from IBM. I'm a Java champion, TSM, and also senior lead for MicroProfile CDI and CDI for IBM. I'm also the Liberty Microservice architect and advocate. I will try to answer all the questions you have. If your questions had not been answered, then feel free to reach out to my Twitter handle, Emily FH Jiang. So in this next 45 minutes, I will try to cover the 4-year hard work on MicroProfile. So basically, I will cover from the current to the future of the MicroProfile. It's with some demos as well. So this year is what's new in MicroProfile. Actually, we established a working group. We spend a lot of time to set up the MicroProfile working group, and currently is active. So it's the MicroProfile is purely community driven. So we try to keep that way, and also is open standard as well. So with this MicroProfile working group, so that means MicroProfile is kind of open standard, and also is kind of being implemented by many runtimes and etc. So it's kind of is a standard APIs for you to build microservices, and also for you to use on your monoliths as well. MicroProfile is very diverse in terms of the contributions and also the implementations. Actually, you can see from this slide is the contributors from many companies, including IBM, Red Hat, Payara, Tommy Tribe, and also individuals and etc. And there's about a dozen implementations like OpenLiberty, WebSphere Liberty from IBM, and Quarkus Wildfly from Red Hat, Payara from Payara Fish, and then Tommy E from Tommy Tribe, Helidon from Oracle, Cumulus EE from Cumulus EE, and Fujitsu has a Apache launcher, Piranha, and also Hammock and Apache Geronimo. So it's the trend is the new runtime. If you see some new runtime for building microservices, there's a tendency they will implement a MicroProfile. So they will adopt MicroProfile as they see MicroProfile provides the best breed of APIs for building your microservices. So this is a quick timeline for the last 4 years. As you can see, is that every year we do 3 releases per year, and this year, because we spend a lot of time to set up a working group, and at the moment we are trying to release MicroProfile 4.0. So hopefully that's a Christmas present for us. We're trying to release MicroProfile 4.0 around Christmas time. So stay tuned for our news. So this is kind of the big the building blocks, and to show you what's the current status for MicroProfile. This is orange building block is directly from Jakarta, so it's CDI, GXRS, JSONB, and JSONP, and all these blue ones is directly invented by MicroProfile. Basically, we created these specifications. And then on the left-hand side, we group them together to form a platform release. On the right-hand side, we also released these top 4 specifications in the last couple of years. However, we have not put them into the platform release. After this working group is finished, after we released MicroProfile 4.0, we will then discuss whether to merge these standalone releases into the platform release, or we do some other multiple buckets and etc. So that's to be discussed. So this one in gray, so this one long-running actions has not been released. So hopefully early next year, so this spec can be released. So I quickly run through the current. So it's when you build microservices, you will use this for like a specification to build like a RESTful service. So that's your microservice. However, in order to create an application which consists of multiple microservices, you will need a MicroProfile REST client to make the connection. So service A call into service B, and etc. After you have built multiple microservices, you will need to think about quality of services. How can you document a microservice? How can you secure a microservice? How can you build a resilient microservice? How can you configure your microservice? So you will use these 4 MicroProfile specifications or APIs directly to add this kind of quality of services. So next thing is like microservices, the destination is in the cloud. Once you deploy your microservices to the cloud, you need to talk with your cloud infrastructure, such as Kubernetes. You need to tell your Kubernetes whether this microservice is ready to receive any request or is still alive, so that if it's a kind of route, RAM, and etc., Kubernetes can say, okay, I'm going to destroy you. So there's need a way to communicate with Kubernetes. So that's what MicroProfile Health is for. And also the metrics is you need to monitor microservice to see, is it under heavy load, or do I need to spin off a new one, and etc. Or you want to monitor how quickly it serves request, and etc. Thirdly, if your if a request doesn't go well, so if it's got a problem, you need to figure out which microservice is not behaving. So with that, you need open tracing. Basically, you need to chain up all these microservices, correlate together, and work out which microservice is not behaving, and you need a kind of diagram to directly demonstrate to you, like this request spend a certain time at one particular microservices, and etc. Okay, that's a quick run through of the current platform release. So how can I get started? If you want to create a MicroProfile application, microservices using MicroProfile, you can use direct use start.microprofile.io, so give you this UI. Or you could use the VS Code extension. It's called MicroProfile Extension Pack. So it's directly, it has this one extension directly use the API directly from the MicroProfile starter project. So it's directly call into the API endpoint and create microservices for you. And also it has some other like runtime developed tools, including OpenLiberty, Quarkus, and Payara, and etc. If you are IntelliJ user, and also there's a MicroProfile starter for you to use. Again, this one also uses the API directly exposed by MicroProfile starter project. So I'm going to give you a quick demo using VS Code extension to create microservices using MicroProfile, and quickly run through the current state of the MicroProfile. So I have my VS Code, so I directly create. So I have the VS Code extension for MicroProfile extension pack. So I support that. I accept that here. Artifact ID, choose the label, and then like a server, I choose OpenLiberty. I choose Java 8, or you could choose Java 11 if you want. So, and then I just create into new folder, Jakarta. So I generate here. So with this, it's directly create 2 microservices. So running on Observability, Service A and Service B. So Service B has 2 endpoint. One is the secured one, unsecured one. The other one is the secured one. So let me close that. So it's and the other one is the Service A. Service A is directly call into Service B, use the REST client style. So here you can see demonstrate this is Service B. So this is do something. It has a pass prom and take a parameter is get operation. And here is Service A can directly create an interface, use take exactly same signature, and all it need to do is annotate with register REST client, and then you can directly inject to a Jakarta resource, use @inject REST client, and then you can directly call it. So how do I make the connection from Service A to Service B? Obviously, you need know Service B's endpoint. So here you use this configuration, and the value will be a Service B's endpoint. So now I just directly start Service B because it's running on Liberty. So I can start a service in the Liberty dev mode. And while it is starting, and also I can start Service A. And again, I can start Service A in dev mode as well. So Service B is starting. So here is the configuration file, the configuration property. So basically this is use fully qualified class name. Fully qualified class name, common example, client server, and etc. And then here is .service, and then /mprest/URL. So it's Service B is up running. So it's Service A is up running as well. So with that, let's go to the here. So this is so you can see this is the kind of the endpoint also this endpoint already. So this is the directly Service A directly call into Service B. Let me demonstrate to you. Here is process parameter value. So if I go back here, I change Service B to say this is my Service B. Now I can go back. I call it again, so you can see here is real my Service B. So the other thing is now I want to configure my Service A. By configure Service A, so I want to say actually we are live at JakartaOne. You can say we are live at. So I don't want to hard code JakartaOne. I say okay, my conference. And then I can just say, okay, I want to configure that. And configure property. Name equals, I say I want to inject this one, string conf. Maybe here I will say conference. I got an error straight away. If you look at this is the beauty of dev mode. If you look at it, it's saying I couldn't find. If you go to the top, it said okay, the property conference was not found in any configuration. Now I can easily I just say yeah, define this JakartaOne. live stream. Save that. So it will happily recompile it and see, it's automatically pick it up. So this is a quick run through the kind of the config. So the other thing is, what if service B is not behaving? So if I can directly put a fault in service B, in order to save time, I directly copy, a bug, directly put in service B. And then, so every so often, service B will not respond, will throw error or delay. So I save that. So as you can see here, if I go back here, and sometimes it's really slow, right? It's keep on doing that. And sometimes it's not working. So without a change a backend, I want to build a resilient microservice myself, because this is a real use case. Sometimes you cannot change the backend, so you have to look after yourself. So with this, the kind of the beauty is the MicroProfile for tolerance is here to help you. You can do retry. Like if something not working, I want to retry. Or it's very slow, I can say, okay, I want timeout, for example, after 100 milliseconds. If you want timeout and also you want to make it synchronize. And once you make it synchronize, you need to return a completion stage or a future. So a completion stage is more preferred. And then here you can say, okay, you change it to be a completable future, and then completed future. Do that. So now let's go back to the browser again. So here, you can see it's kind of, you don't have any delay or error. And sometimes you can see the counter jump because sometimes you get retried and then you get a successful response. And also, if you want, especially in the cloud, infrastructure, you need to also use a fallback if the backend are not responding, and you got something to fall back for. For example, here I said if something not working, is you want to fall back. So here it has the language server support, so give you an error straight away. I need to define this fallback method here. So I can say here is my fallback. Again, I can say delete this one. I can just say this is my fallback. Okay, so with that, let's kind of quickly demonstrate how to do the resilient microservice. So the other thing is actually is all your microservice is like a self-describable. So basically, it has if you have the JakartaOne microservices, it automatically exposes the endpoint /open API. So if you know Swagger, this is identical output to Swagger. In Observability, also you have a UI, so you can invoke it. You can directly try it out, execute. And at the moment, you can see is kind of all the default. I haven't done any Open API magic. I didn't use any Open API annotations and etc. So I got out-of-box Open API documentation. If you want, you can add Open API description. Let me quickly add some open API description for this kind of the endpoint. So you can describe if it's 200 it means what, and also for this like a method, what is doing and etc. If I save that, and then if you go back to here, you can see parameters code. Let me go back to save this one. Anyway, me to the UI. So it will sometimes is kind of the updates will take some time. We try them later. So the other thing is also you got a metrics straight away. So you can see all the metrics being collected, etc. If you want to get any application metrics, and also you can add MicroProfile metrics APIs. For example, if I add simply time, then I can say name. I'll just say Jakarta. Save this one. So now, if I directly invoke backend, or if I see the metrics, so you can get a lot application metrics, and also also the fault tolerance also give you some metrics about how many times has been retried, how many times get a timeout. So here is your Jakarta, this is simply time and etc. The other thing is kind of the also auto box. You get a health live with this endpoint, and also you got a health ready this endpoint. So how can you config? How can you put a logic there to see when is ready, when is live? So with that you can put in the health. So here you can put the logic there. So for example, for this liveness check, so if you run out a RAM here, if you run out RAM greater than 80%, you should say is down. For the readiness check here, if you have a database connection, if you cannot reach the database, you had better say down. So this is kind of the other one. And the next one I want to quickly cover is open tracing. So basically, I have this Jaga automatically started the server, and as you can see, so it's if I do find trace, what I have done earlier 2 minutes ago. So I go to the trace. So it's basically this get operation and call into the service, do something, tell me 0.46 millisecond spent in the service B and etc. So this is the kind of, I haven't done anything in my application. All I did is I included the MicroProfile open tracing feature, and all the Jakarta has been trace span, the trace correlation ID has been propagated. So this is really great. So the other thing is how can you secure your microservice? So it's in here, I mentioned earlier. So it's in the service B, I have another endpoint. This endpoint is kind of you use the rules allowed to secure this endpoint. So So rules allowed is not from MicroProfile, is from Jakarta. So it's in the Jakarta EE security. So it's what MicroProfile JWT does is purely to pass on the information so that the backend is able to use that JWT token to tell whether you have this protected, you belong to this protected group or not. So let me show you how the client works. So here. Basically, in the client, I directly use the traditional JakartaOne. So this is the MicroProfile starter. Directly use the JakartaOne client, so directly call into the backend. And then is with that, when it's trying to invoke, also he add a header. This header is push the JWT or under the authorization header. So it's how to build a JWT. With the generator JWT, use the Vertex API, directly generate a JWT, use the private key, and also make sure is the algorithm used is RS256. In MicroProfile JWT is just have a few things added over above what a JWT defined. The first thing is set the added two claims. One is the UPN, the other one is groups. So here I can pass in the group. The other thing is in the MicroProfile JWT 10 and 11, it said you must use RS256 as an algorithm. And also it says the issue, this one claim must be present as well. So with this, you generate a JWT and then push to the request head, add as a request header. When you do the invocation, you pass in. So and then let's go and poke this endpoint. So this is the JWT. So you can see here is directly get the response from the backend. However, you probably don't know what a response come back. Let me quickly show you. Here is a secure asset protect. This is a claim directly from JWT. However, in the MicroProfile JWT, and also you can inject a JSON web token. JSON web token, I can say token. Maybe here I can say token. And I say, if I save this one, and now I go back here, you can see all the token being produced, and also you can see the token value and etc. So this is all the This is all the JWT. The other thing is what if I change my client? I say, by the way, I don't belong to protected. I belong to super. So if I say that, let's see whether I can still access the here instead of protected. I say I belong to the user and super. And now let's go back here. See, I don't get anything because it's forbidden, because it's it's a directly, I don't belong to that group, but that endpoint ask you have to belong to that group to be able to access this one. So it's basically the other thing is for the MicroProfile JWT, you also when you create a JWT, you use a private key, and when the backend receives the JWT, and it uses a public key directly, decode this JWT. As you can see here, in the web, I have a public key here directly for Observability, directly decode JWT. If during the transmission, JWT has been tampered with, and then is directly this JWT will be rejected. So with that, I give a quick tour about what current, for the macro, the current for the macro profile, all this open API and etc. So you can see all the endpoints, can be exposed, and you can have a play with it and use the VS Code extension and etc. So let's go back to the presentation again. So it's after you have created your microservices, you can Dockerize it and also deploy to the cloud. So it's with my application, I can do a Maven verify, and then I can do a Docker build. With that, actually, when you deploy to Kubernetes and to the cloud, and obviously Kubernetes now is kind of the default element in the cloud. So you can use config map in Kubernetes, and then directly let MicroProfile config directly inject the value, the property you specified in Kubernetes into your application. So here is a quick snippet. Like here, you can define config map, greeting config, and the message equals hello. And then in your deployment YAML file, and you can map this message. Here is a key to environment variable greeting. And then you can inject the greeting into the variable greeting. So this greeting will get the value hello. The next thing is I mentioned earlier. So you have the health endpoint /health/ready and also /health/live. So it can directly use together with the feed into the readiness probe and also the liveness probe. So here in the readiness probe, you just say this is HTTP GET port in 9080. So the URL is health and ready. So similarly, if you for liveness, you just liveness probe /health/live and etc. So the third thing is MicroProfile open tracing I demonstrated earlier. So that fit in very well with Istio, because Istio also it has greater support for like Jaeger or Zipkin. It has a Zipkin and Jaeger automatically it has Jaeger installed and etc. However, Istio ask you in the doc, it said, oh, by the way, application developer, you need to propagate all these spans so that I can build a graph for you. The beauty is the MicroProfile open tracing automatically propagate all these required spans for you without you need to do any single coding. So which is a great advantage. So here I want to say Istio is kind of infrastructure, MicroProfile is programming model, so they fit in really nicely together. Next, I will quickly run through about standalone specifications. So the first one is the kind of reactive stream operators. So this is provide you a way to manipulate the reactive streams. So the change stream, filter stream, and etc. So if you know XJava or the Spin Reactor, so the implementation for the reactive streams APIs. So the next thing is if you want to build a reactive microservices, you will need to use reactive messaging. Reactive messaging is very simple. Basically, it have a defined concept to say, okay, you can be a publisher or you can be a consumer. If you have art incoming, that means you are consumer. Outgoing, that means you are producer. If you have both, that means you are processor. So it's and also once you have this concept, the publisher, producer, and etc., and then you can also specify what kind of underlying transmission you want, like either Kafka, MQ, or MQTT, and etc. And all that you can use MicroProfile config directly configure here. By the way, this channel will go to the Kafka and also some other channel go to Active MQ or IBM MQ or some messaging brokers as you want. By the way, the reactive messaging uses the reactive streams operator APIs like as a return type and etc. So next thing is the context propagation. So context propagation is a way to capture the context from the parent thread and then directly push it to the children thread. So this is kind of directly the complementary to the like a completable future, like this asynchronous like a programming model. Like for tolerance, if you want to do asynchronous, you need to make sure capture some context and directly push some context to the new thread. So it has a concept and a manage executor or thread context. So there's some APIs for you to help you to like associate the context with a new thread. So the next thing is the GraphQL. So GraphQL directly solve the problem for the REST, the underfetching and overfetching issue. So it's like you can define the GraphQL a GraphQL endpoint. For example, you just annotate the GraphQL and you can build a query and then you can run the query like that. So with that, let me quickly run into quick demo. Here, one of the 1983. So quickly show you the here. So here is like in this application. So I directly have some client. So this is Jakarta's client. So this is weather API and etc. If I want to do the GraphQL, so I can directly say GraphQL API, and then I can build a query, just like that. And in my GraphQL the endpoint, I can directly tell the give a query, and it will give me a response. So it's running on the 1983 GraphQL. Let's see. In here. So if I directly do that, if I run it, so you can get a response like that. If I say Paris, oh, this is direct from form. So if I go back in here, so if I copy that, oh, I can't copy. Let's see. I don't know what happened. Couldn't anyway. Let me go close this. Let me run this one better. So you can see here is directly like give you a query and give you some data. Anyway, let's go back to the slide. So So that's a kind of pretty much run through of this. So I will use probably next 5 minutes to quickly cover the future. So it's the future is earlier next year probably we will release the long running actions. So it's LRA. So this is kind of for transactional microservices. It enables loose coupling and global consistency, eventually consistent model. And it supports like a saga pattern. So basically how it works on Jakarta's resources. So basically when you start a LRI, you annotate it at LRA, and then you can register with the coordinator. If it's successful, it will at complete will be called. If it's not successful, at compensate will be called. So for the MicroProfile for all, so currently we are in the process of releasing MicroProfile for all. Actually, we have just released the config and the health into the Maven Central. Check it out. And then at the moment, we are trying to stage, the rest on the MicroProfile specs. So this for all will be aligned with the Jakarta Year 8. And there's many like major releases from different specifications. So it's there's a lot of major releases from these specifications. For the config, we support config profile, variable replacement, and also the config properties, and also the config values will help you to work out where these config properties from. For fault tolerance, we clarified this bulkhead and circuit breaker can be used by any scopes, can be used by application scope, request scope, because this bulkhead and circuit breaker will work per class, per method. Even if you have multiple different instances, all these instances will share the same circuit breaker or bulkhead. And also we use the MicroProfile metrics, kind of latest release. We use the metrics tags to simplify your query. If you do a Grafana query, and then your query will be further simplified. So next one is the health. Health 3.0, we removed the at health annotation. And also, I mentioned earlier, MicroProfile API works for monoliths as well. So you can, if you have multiple applications deployed to the same server, and the overall default running stays changed to down until all the application has started. And the other thing is the kind of the change, the API change from the state to status. So for metrics, there's some other fine-tune, like a simple timer introduced highest, lowest, recorded time duration, and etc. And also add a few more metrics. And open tracing is adopt open tracing API from 0.31 to 3.3. And then Open API is kind of added a few more annotations, also removed some interfaces. So all the rest, you still have an Open API endpoint, Open API UI, etc. That's the same. For REST client, so it's a support if you have a query prom as a list, is support 3 flavor the input, and also it's the support HTTP proxy and the service and event, and also redirect. So the next one is the JWT 1.2. So in here, JWT 1.2, and we just specify the claim groups is optional now, and also is support the encrypted JWT, so which is called JWE. And also the JWT token can be in the authorization header, or could be in the cookie as well. So if you want to try out a MicroProfile for all, download OpenLiberty 21.0.1-beta and give it a go. It has it has all of the MicroProfile for all features supported. So this is some links for you to read. So that's like a quick run through of this.
Thanks so much, Emily. So we will make this presentation available to you, and I will invite everyone to actually move you to the other session, and we'll have Emily over for Jakarta Tech Talk to talk some more about MicroProfile. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.